Okay, I want to say hi again everybody. Welcome to the zone. Got some music on here. Some traditional Japanese Zen relaxing music to get us in the deep vibe. Excuse me. Okay, welcome once again. So as I say, it's always good to be able to talk with you about any topics on life, and especially my favourite topic, the martial arts. Okay, first of all, in this video, what we're gonna do, okay, in this video is I'm gonna talk to you about how I see martial arts, and this is for anyone out there, okay, whether you're a martial artist or not, but just from my words, okay. Martial arts is a path of self-discipline, and you need to train every day. You should be training. Martial arts incorporates all kinds of exercise for the human body. A quick review on that, okay. For the physique, you've got the external and the internal. For the internal, you've got the mind, obviously the heart, the mind, the body, everything about morality, discipline, all of that. It incorporates philosophy, psychology, understanding of anything, basically it's knowledge of life in the flow of yin and yang. So you should have yin and yang, yin yang in your mind, and that will carry and drive through the body to the vehicle which we use to do anything in the physical. The physical training incorporates the same as the mind, hard and soft, the small, the big, and every the fast, the slow, everything, the internal and the external. It incorporates everything again of yin and yang, yin yang. Okay? So basically, what kind of exercise there is in martial arts, or as I see it in traditional martial arts, it should be, regardless of which styles, Chinese, Japanese, Korean, and then flowing out to other styles, whatever it may be, Thai or whatever. But I'm just saying, the physical training incorporates all the different kind of training you can imagine: endurance, stamina, breath, all that, flexibility, strength, okay. Training. Flexibility is a must in a martial arts. You have to train your body to be very flexible, and you should train stretching as often as possible, either light stretching or going deeper, but the more you do the better. Starting with the gentle exercises for simple areas for the joints of the body. Breath should be controlled naturally throughout the training, and certain aspects of breath and methods of breathing can be trained and focused, and it's a very good kind of way to train the internal and the breath of life, exactly, and all that. But breathing, we should be breathing naturally. We shouldn't be stopping and thinking how to, make it, how our heart should beat, how our lungs should breathe, how, what I mean. They should be all in naturalness. It should be all in the flow. So if your body is not up to a strong level, and you're not very strong, and you start running up hills and lifting weights and stuff, you'll probably be out of breath very quickly. So it's reminding you, the internal reminds you of the external, which is reminding you. It's like one side's reminding you of the other side always, yin and yang. Now, physical training, different kind of strength training is possible. You can do, if you do weights and things like that, like bodybuilding, it's not advised to be really doing a lot of heavy weightlifting if you're a martial artist, but you can, it depends what you want to do. But flexibility is the first thing, and it's good to do some weight training. Running, swimming, and all kinds of other exercises are also very good for you, and all kinds of areas of training in the martial arts in terms of the physique and the fitness, which is the first thing you should have, and after the right attitude, of course, but you learn more as you go through it, but you can incorporate it all in. Now, fast training, slow training, not only is it good for the mind, as in an active mind or a relaxed, calm mind in terms of physical training, but also the training of the body. That's why people who practice Tai Chi and Taiji, for example, and things like that, will practice slowly, because it's teaching you how to control to train every fibre in your body, every part of your muscle, really standing in a low rooted stance and learning to stand still before you learn movement. Learn stillness before movement. Learn to listen and hear and be aware of all your senses before you start acting foolishly. Learn the meaning of whatever it is before you start spending your money, time, emotion, energy, all of that. Okay, that's the thing. You should focus your mind and learn to be a good listener before you become a good speaker. The more you learn, the more the more you'll be able to do. Now, in physical training, apart from stretching, we've got various strong stance work. The root, like the root of a tree, the training the body that needs to be done, and that builds you up into a stronger physique, working from the ground up through your body, from the internal core, from inside of you, from the mind, a desire to live and love nature. Love this music, man. Love this music. So, but yeah, anyway, epic. But basically, though, yeah, that's what it's got. Okay. Then you got, of course, the training. Okay, all kinds of martial arts, traditional martial arts. We're not looking at an exact style here. But as we know, it teaches us fighting movements for our whole body. We learn to strike as well as to defend and block. Defense incorporates all kinds of different training when it comes to defense. Blocking methods, deflecting, parrying, avoiding, absorbing the opponent's energy, using the energy against him. Different various methods of defense, okay. Striking too, okay. And then various follow-ups and combinations, not just as in a hit, but learning how to flow around the opponent's energy and with them in a harmonious, mirror-like fashion, in the flow of yin and yang, basically, with you and your opponent. So, you must be the yin for their yang, you must be the yang for their yin at the same time, the same way as they are being for you. You shouldn't see it as a frozen thing, you shouldn't see it as a stop, because you shouldn't see things in life like a flow where everything just stops and crashes, because if you do, then it does, okay? So you must know that it's flowing anyway, no matter what. It's like a water, it's going to keep flowing, so you need to learn how to flow and learn how to swim as such. So you need to learn how to go in the flow and adapt yourself, and you won't need to go against the forces of whatever it is, of darkness. It's like for a man who knows how to live, death has no place to enter, and things like that, the old Kung Fu show. And that's okay. What else we got? We got conditioning methods also for the martial arts. Okay, excuse me. Got conditioning methods. Okay, which incorporate like conditioning for the whole body. Of course, the fists, the palms, the hands, the forearms, and all of that. In terms of training, you can do different methods to get that. Like striking things. Being careful, of course, but gradually building up strength in your body. You got the hard and the soft training you have to do. Kicking, obviously, for the legs, you got things like that. Sweeps, takedowns, ground fighting, throws, locks, all kinds of different techniques. Then you got more acrobatic and agile kind of moves for other kind of martial arts. Which teach you a lot of energy, as I say, and teach you how to control your balance. Martial arts is all about balance, don't forget. The small movements and the big movements, the small styles and the big styles. Wing Chun, for example, teaches you a lot about accuracy, as do all the martial arts. Karate teaches you how to incorporate hard and soft, accuracy, power, blasting. When you're talking about the internal, again, also people talk about the like the chi or the ki, energy in your body, the internal flow of life and energy. It depends how you feel about it and what you think. There's different ways you can essence and train your body, things like dynamic tension and all kinds of different training that there is, incorporating different mindsets into the body in ninjutsu and different forms of ninjutsu, or what we know about like more modern ninjutsu in certain styles. There's I say modern, I mean like more like what we've known about like ninjutsu. Having things like the elements, they talk about the elements a lot, as do they in things like feng shui, okay, things like that, where you're talking about all the different elements of the water, fire, whatever. You've got people who might be an earth type person, wind or whatever, okay, things like that. So you've got the 5 elements though, you've got the 5 animals, you've got animal styles of kung fu and things like that. So a lot of martial arts systems incorporate yin and yang, okay, they all do, they should do. If not, there's a problem, like anything else in your life. It's like you pull one part of the bridge out, or one, card away from the tower or the bridge, and it just falls down, So you need to have a strong foundation for anything to cross the bridge, okay? For a building to stand, or strong, good soil, good roots for the tree to grow up. It has to be all under the right circumstances too, and all it needs: sun, water, all the things of nature. We don't need anything else, that's unnatural for us. Wisdom, looking into reality, okay? What else? Yeah, so you got all of that, okay? Again, it takes all different elements from nature as well, as I say. And in terms of the mindset and the philosophy and the training do go hand in hand. And your philosophy and your mindset for life should be going there, because otherwise it means you're living in a dream world. The same way as if you are working your ass off every day, working your life, so hard, and exhausting yourself, but you're not doing anything good. You could be wasting time. So your action could equal nothing. Same as everything is nothing, nothing is everything, under whatever circumstances that is. And this could be a positive attitude, or this could be a negative attitude. This could, depending on your attitude, this could be the opposite side of yin and yang. But if you're in your life, you've got yin and yang. When you're not here, you've got yin and yang. It was always yin and yang as far as nature goes. The opposite of yin and yang, okay, yin yang is the opposite of life. Basically, it's the opposite of all nature, I should say, not only life. But it's not only life as we know it and what we see, but it's like everything in the flow of the constant everything and the nothing, obviously, okay? Every time you're confronted with an idea, or you're confronted with a challenge, or whatever it may be, you can always know that there is an opposite of that. The same way as it's always evidently there, so true. You see the big and the small on the yin-yang sign, the black and white. You see that the dark side and the light side, the big half and the other half. There's two halves, but from the big to the small, they're flowing, constantly flowing, and then you can always see the two spots in the other, like a bit of light in the dark and a bit of dark in the light, to remind you that it's there. And it's not only something that will be there if you look for it, or it could be there, or you can make it up. It actually is there. But your mind is what makes anything there. It's like, what do you see when you look in the mirror? What do you see when you look inside yourself? What do you see then when you start thinking? The more you think, the more of a complex jungle it becomes. So it's very, very deep. Like, training starts from the basics. To be a good martial arts master or expert, I believe, in the physical training, takes a lot of practice in the basics. You've got to train every day, or as often as possible. Practice basic movements. There are so many different training methods in the martial arts. There are moves that are just very simple and geared towards fighting, that you train by yourself. You've got solo training, you've got things like patterns and cutters and forms and things like that. You've got drills, you practice with other people, you have to work them. You've got different kind of focus training you can do. That can be anything from training on a pad or anything like that, focus pads, or even things like archery and things like that, which can also be a kind of training for the mind, let's say, and into physical action. Without focus, there can be no hit on the target, as such. So martial arts incorporates a lot for a person, but I believe totally honestly, that training needs to be done. It's always good to train many different styles, learn from many different styles, to learn as much as you can. By learning the many, you can understand the one more, it's the same as understanding other people more will help you understand yourself. Understanding yourself more will certainly help you understand other people more. The truth's always closest to us. The true understanding of what we are, the all experience is ourselves individually. But you have to learn to be in this world, And that's what the practice is. The nature that we are actually here, and our cells are constantly growing and renewing, and our breath always, constantly breathing, our heart's beating, our mind's always thinking. This is naturally there. So it's not only that we must work hard, it's like we are born to be, rather than not be, or be destructive, or we were born into life, not to be dead. I'm trying to say we were born into life to be alive, If not, we would never be. So rather than thinking about what it is, or rather than trying to make excuses or think about why or when or not, or if to start training or doing something good for yourself, or stop doing something bad, the truth is there, and it is now, and it can be. Martial arts training is for your whole health of yourself, control, everything, coordination, awareness. It helps you in your whole life. It's not only learning the martial arts for the sake of martial arts, and it's not only learning to fight and that's it. It's teaching you a damn lot, and it's a very strong discipline, very powerful, that anyone can learn. And you will never be invincible as such, but you can always do better, and that's what it teaches you, to always be more ready and aware and able and be more equipped in life and abilities and skills. Even when you don't have the skills or the knowledge or the abilities as such that of any other area of life, but though what you develop in yourself helps you be more ready for things. A good listener, can hear anything, can collect any knowledge. That's like dangerous. It's like you get different kinds of ninjas back in the day, ninjas, right? And you got certain ones were like spies and stuff. Check out Bill's videos, Hi Bill, Black Sword Shinobi, who's talked about this stuff, in the past, right? Sending out the scouts and things. He's made videos about that, and about certain ninjas in the past, like the kind of ninjas that would be spies. Information is the key, but it's like anything. An idea in your mind is nothing unless you use it, and you can't use it and do really good, and you can't know. You can never be perfect. But you only with practice, it's like archery or anything, only with practice can you have more chance of being a better shot. How good is your balance when you need it? You just don't know unless you train, but if you train more, your balance, you'll know it more. So the physical training in the martial arts helps the mind, helps the internal to be calm. That's why we train so hard, so rigorous, powerful, hard training. But we learn, the motion teaches us the calmness of stillness. The stillness teaches us to feel in ourselves that we are ready, and readies us for moments within all the flow of movement. You know what I'm saying? It's like a perfect frame. Any motion on that timeline in a movie, in a video, if you stop and pause it, it's exactly how it is. So you have to train every single part of yourself. Everything you train and practice in your life is basically practice of yourself and training discipline of yourself. Martial arts is for your whole life, okay, and it should be a whole lifelong journey. Although some people do martial arts and they have done in the past, here and there as like a little bit on the side, like a hobby thing, and it can be, but as such, but it shouldn't be the way. Martial arts is really a way of life. Being a martial, there's two kinds of people in this world, I believe. There's martial artists, and then there's the opposite. People who don't do martial arts, non-martial artists. And to me, it's better to be a martial artist than that, because you're enhancing yourself on all levels, and nothing else compares to martial arts. Nothing else, okay? It's not like something like, not because I say so, because I feel so. Understand me? To me, I feel so. But it's like, can only speak from our own experiences. People can speak a lot about the ups and downs of a basketball, that they've been playing basketball their whole life, or whatever it may be, but to me, it doesn't matter if you're a building construction site worker or a champion chess player, whatever you are, public speaker, a doctor, whoever you are, a parent, a lover, a friend, I don't know, a student, whatever you're doing, but the martial art is in you. If it's in you, it will remind you constantly and keep you on the track of nature, and it will not grow a weak, fake, little, I don't know what, image of a bush. It will create a true, strong tree, rooted tree, basically, in you, as in you will become more like a strong rooted tree with a very good foundation. Your foundation relies, or your basically everything about you relies on your foundation. So whatever ideology you follow now, and whatever kind of practice you are doing, that is what you are now, and that is what you'll be tomorrow. So thanks for watching. Keep it real. Oh, don't forget, if you're training in martial art weapons training too, like sticks, swords, and all the traditional martial art weapons, things like that, be careful what different kind of training you do. Don't carry weapons around, but it's definitely great for training. Also, the focus is another interesting thing. But martial arts is so deep, it covers so many aspects of life, and definitely look into all the different styles of martial arts and whatever information is out there. Thanks for watching now. See you again very soon.